All right, bro. Now,
Yun.
about something special. Project Pilipinas is back. Golden era. Gilas Pilipinas. So
Gold medalist.
hindi lang tayo learning experience.
Winning experience na. Golden experience.
Golden experience, bro. Pero, of course, may mga nagsabi na baka chamba na naman yan kasi yung Lebanon, lang gano'n. Yung may ibang team, hindi naman talaga team A daw nila yan, mga gano'n. Of course, may excuse din tayo. Hindi naman dun si Clarkson, hindi mga but in all honesty, bro, in all seriousness and all, pagmamahal natin sa ating bayan, diba? How do we make sure that this is a beginning of an era rather than just a blip, kind of, what I'm saying, like flash in the pan? How do we make sure we move in that direction? First, before we go to the recommendations, Mark, you are the expert guy compared to me, at least in terms of understanding domestic league, politics, problems natin. Can you give us an overview? Ano yung map? Anong kalagayan ng basketball sa Pilipinas ngayon compared to when we were used to be seen as NBA of Asia, right? Where are we now? At least Gilas Pilipinas medyo humabol. Pero national team lang yan eh.
National team yan.
Oh, bro.
Okay, let's start doon. Before we go to Gilas, the state of the PBA now. Okay? Yung PBA is napaghuhulihan ng mga up-and-coming leagues sa Asia. Particularly sa East Asia. Diba? Sa Japan, sa B-League, sa Korea, sa Taiwan, and yung China, of course, matagal namang malakas yung China na league. Pero one main reason for that is because of money, yung economy. So, doong part, medyo wala tayong magagawa. Talagang mas malaki yung market mas malaki yung market sa Japan, mas malaki yung pwede nilang ipasahod. They can get the best players, they can get they can pirate our best players to play there, which is what's happening. So wala tayong magagawa doon. Pero ganun pa man, there are steps that the league can make na hindi niya ginagawa. At napaghuhulihan, and it's making it harder for it to compete and to be relevant sa panahon ngayon. Okay? We talk about the problems na. Okay, ang main problem nun sa PBA for the last, I think, how many years? 5, 6, 7 years is yung farm team. That's one big reason kung bakit maraming na-turn off ng mga tao sa PBA. What's happening is a set of tatlong sister teams. Diba? Tatlo si San Miguel, tatlo si MVP. Doon pa lang medyo marami ng conflict eh. Wala yatang liga na ganun kadami yung pag-aari ng teams ng isang Doon pa lang meron ng conflict.
Can you give me a comparison? Like how is it in other legit leagues? Like bakit
parang bawal
How weird.
Sa normal na mga liga, as far as I know, especially sa US, maski yung ibang malalaki, one owner, kumbaga, you can only own one team per league para walang conflict of interest. So definitely kailangan, if you're going to get ownership here, you need to let go of the other one. So doon pa lang may problema na. So fine, may ganun na, di ba? Ang problema, merong, I think, 3 or 4 PBA teams na ang tinatawag ay farm team na parang sumusunod lang doon sa malalaking teams. Which is ganito yun has been happening for the last few years. They will draft number 1, number 2, number 3. They will draft the best player. After isang conference o dalawang conference, they will trade it to the San Miguel group. They will trade it to the MVP group kapalit sa isang aging veteran na magaling naman. So, merong tatlong teams sa PBA at the bottom of the league na parang walang intensyon na to compete, na mag-champion. So yun ang and nakakahalata na yung mga tao and some people are speaking out, especially yung mga independent teams. Yung mga teams na walang sister team like Rain or Shine, Converge, si Coach Yeng Giao, di ba? Umalis siya sa MVP group because his top player sa Gilas ngayon, si Oftana, got traded to the mother team sa Token Text. Yun na nga yung magaling ko, kinuha pa ng Token, alis na ako dito. Lumipat siya sa Rain or Shine, sa Independent. Tapos sa Converge, ganun din. So nakikita nila yung yung
Kailan nagsimula yan, bro? I mean, itong sinasabi mong problematic situation, to put it mildly, no? Some would say more than problematic, medyo dodgy na to. Kailan ba nagsimula yan? 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
mga ganon.
Or sa tingin mo nag-contribute? Pera, politika, combination, what happened?
I think ano din it's their yung gusto nilang manalo at all costs. Yun ang problema. I'm saying this, ang problema, ako Hinebra fan din. Ito nga, kulay Hinebra nga tong suot ko. Pero kulang, kumbaga, yung victory doesn't taste that sweet. Kapag alam mong medyo unfair yung laban eh. Diba? So, I interviewed Coach Yen Giao about this. Sabi niya, maganda pa rin na you win the right way. Kasi if you go back sa PBA nung 90s, even early 2000s, every team wants to compete eh. So if you're the bottom team, you get number 1 pick sa draft, you draft the best player, may chance ka na after a few years. Pero hindi ganun yung nangyayari ngayon. It's the same team at the bottom of the league, kukunin nila yung top 1 pick, tapos ibibigay doon sa ka-partner nilang either San Miguel Group or MVP Group.
Parang may cannibalism. Parang kinakannibalize yung mga mas mahinang team na sana umakyat or something like that, diba?
Oh, and then, ang term that people use is pinipitas eh. Kumbaga parang nagiging incubator lang sila ng players na yon. Which is parang nawawala tuloy yung fairness ng league. Kasi yung
competitive league, so hindi siya masayang tignan. Hindi siya competitive, di ba? Dalawa tatlo.
And if yun nga. Kaya for the last 5 years yata, Coach Yen Giao sa Rain or Shine was the last team, I think 7 or 8 years ago, to win a championship outside of 4 teams.
Yeah.
3 team ng San Miguel tas Stock Intex. The same 4 teams winning the championship over and over. Kaya in fairness sa PBA, nung pinasok nila yung Bay Area Dragons, nagka-excitement ng konti kasi nagkaroon ng malakas na kalaban. Pero if it's the same team, pare-parehos, puro sila, 'di ba? Parang minsan di ba, hindi na ganoon kasarap yung victory eh. Kasi alam mo na in a way medyo lugi.
Kasi hindi level yung playing field. I mean, it kind of gives me the vibes of Premier League in UK na parating top 4, big 4, like Spurs, Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester, yung mga ganyan na parang nasisira. Parang ngayon gumanda
gumanda na. Kasi the
thing is, problema ngayon kasi yung mga Ronaldo, Benzema nandun lang sa 4 na team, Al Ittihad, Al Hilal. Sorry, I'm just giving the football comparison. So hindi maganda yung buong league kasi alam mo 4 lang talaga lumalaban dito and yung iba tagabigay lang ng points, diba? So the league is supposed to be 20 teams or 10 teams, not 40.
Yeah. Pero at least sa Premier League, sa football, diba? Kadalasan dyan, sometimes issue of money lang eh. Diba? If you are bottom of the 20th, pang nasa bottom ka, if you get a big investor who will put in money, kaya mong lumaban ka agad and So unlike sa PBA, structural eh. Kasi even if may pumasok ka na team na maraming pera, like Converge, pero ang kalaban mo has three teams, tapos yung ibang team kontrolado nila, nakakuha sila ng player.
Mas
monopolistic na ganon. Hindi. So, ang problema, yung mga ibang bilyonaryo, ayaw na nilang pumasok doon sa liga. So, yun yung big hindrance talaga. Sa ngayon, yun yung isang malaking problema.
That's a good analysis. That's a good, kasi you're absolutely right. Kasi sa football, for instance, Saudi Arabia took over Newcastle. Suddenly now, Newcastle, tinalo niya yung Paris Saint-Germain, tinalo niya Manchester City, nag-top 4 sila last. So clearly the money made difference. Manchester City, for a long time, nasa shadow ng Manchester United. Binili ng mga Emiratis, next thing you know, big time na sila. Diba? So you're absolutely right. Like someone can come from the outside, inject money, resources buy, and then suddenly there's a new superpower. But parang sa ating sinasabi mo na kahit may isang star na team
kahit mayaman na team, lugi ka kaagad eh. It's 1 against 4 against 5. Lugi ka kaagad. Monopolize nung dalawang malaki. Kumbaga si RSA and MVP, they are good for the national team kasi ginagastosan nila. Pero pagdating sa PBA, yung sa kagustuhan nilang manalo, sumosobra. Diba? Sumosobra yung na hindi na patas. So I think that's the biggest hindrance sa PBA ngayon. Hopefully they can find a solution doon na patas naman at least mabawasan man lang yung pagiging unfair nung sa mga nangyayari sa ganun. Ako nga, I would be better nga if if yung mga farm teams mo wala na lang let's go back to 8, 9 teams, at least lahat lumalaban ng patas. So yun yung pinaka problema sa PBA. Ang problema ganito, ganun na nga yung sistema. If a player is offered twice or 3 times abroad, ayaw ng tapatan ng mga teams dito. Kasi, ang laki na ng gastos nila eh. So hindi sila makakompete pagdating sa sahod, pagdating sa ano. So I think ang second problem that I want to point out, yung business model ng PBA mismo. Kasi yung buti na sabi mo yung football sa Europe, 'di ba? There are a lot of teams there who are making money. 'Di ba? Na ganun yung nakaset up yung team nila kasi
like, just to give an example, so let's say Brighton, lower team supposedly. They sell may new star player, bebentahin nilang $200 million. Kumita silang bumili.
Kumita sila.
That always happens, yeah.
Ticket sales, merch, sponsorship. So, ganun, yun ang wala sa Pilipinas. Yung ganung sistema ng mga teams na kumikita. Lahat ng teams sa atin sa PBA, MPBL, all the way down, puro palabas yung pera. Promotion for the brand. And mahirap maging sustainable yung isang business at yung isang liga kung puro palabas. Paano mo palalakihin yung gastos mo kung ngayon pa lang umaaray ka na kasi hindi puro palabas yung pera. So ang parating ano ko diyan, PBA nga isa parang playground ng mga bilyonaryo eh. Kumaga doon nila sinusunog yung pera nila kasi wala silang mapaglagyan.
Sounds familiar.
Yung ano nila.
Sounds like our politics, yung mga political politics natin, mga oligarchs lang mga control diyan, 'di ba? That's weird. I mean, that's not surprising. Now, our politics, our economics, and our basketball, all of them are mirroring each other. Very oligopolistic. Few players. It's the ground of the billionaires, no? Parang it's the ground.
PBA is the ground of the billionaires. Yung MPBL, alam mo, it's the ground of political billionaires. Puro mga politiko may-ari. So iba't ibang probinsya. And the thing is, what's nice about MPBL now, yung sahod ng players is getting competitive na with the PBA. So you're seeing players na moving from the PBA to the MPBL. So may mga ganong nangyayari ng move. Ang one thing lang na maganda sa MPBL kumpara sa PBA, yung hometown setup, at least nasisimulan na ng ganon. Kasi ang sumunod na problem ng PBA, the third one naman, is yung viewership. Ginebra may fans, karamihan ng mga ibang teams outside of Ginebra, San Miguel, and Tokentex, walang mga fans. Kasi walang reason para maging fans.
Exactly.
So unless may player ako na gusto doon siguro, pero walang unlike sa MPBL, you go to a Nueva Ecija game, 'di ba? A Pampanga game, ang daming tao, puno yung and everyone is cheering for the team kasi masaya yung ganung experience eh. We have that here sa college, UAP, NC, pero sa professional leagues, wala masyadong ganun. So, yun yung isang nakakainggit din na pag tumitingin ako sa ibang bansa that we don't have, na that would also be helpful in para ayusin yung business model ng PBA. Lumaki yung fan base. So, may mga ganung mga ano eh. So, ang suggestion ko sa PBA, pag-aralan na home court system, kahit 3 games a conference, testing lang nila just to grow their fan base. Diba? Kasi that's how you grow eh. That's how you grow the league. If you grow yung attendance, you get more money, you get more
grassroots marketing. Yeah.
Yes, panggastos sa mga players, panggastos sa top imports. So, yun yung isang malaking isang malaking hindrance sa PBA. So, yun yung mga set of problems that the PBA is facing. Pero kumbaga sa quality of players, we can see naman sa Asian Games, the quality of players is still high pa rin. Still best of very competitive pa rin. Kaya makipagsabayan sa Asia dun sa PBA. So, and yung sakripisyo nila for the World Cup and the Asian Games, they move their schedule from 3 conferences, nagdalawa sila. So marami silang binigay din to help itong campaign na to. So in fairness sa PBA naman, kung ma-solve nila yung problem na yon, okay naman eh. Ang gusto lang din naman natin is maging successful yung PBA kasi it's the old one of I think it's the oldest in Asia.
It's diba? The NBA professional of Asia, supposedly, right? It's the NBA.
Oo eh. And we can only do that if we review and maybe tweak our business model para to become, yung mga teams natin to become Asian, kumbaga big in Asia, get viewership abroad. Maybe that's how we will grow yung team natin. Kaya itong East Asia Super League, 'di ba? Yung which is parang similar sa UEFA or sa I mean sa yun nga yung mga ginagawa sa Europe. Yun. So that's a good start para doon sa mga ganito.
Bro, last question. What about the aspect of media? I mean, naalala ko dati, libre lang manood sa yung mga ABS-CBN related channels, yung mga mga sports, ganun. I mean, like, yeah, what about the viewership, the media, communication?
That's a big factor din. That's a very big factor din. From yung PBA in the 90s sa ngayon, nung 90s walang ibang programa sa TV. Alam mo, sa akin yung humina yung PBA viewership nung nauso yung mga teleserye. Kasi yung mga mister, hindi sila makapanood ng PBA, magagalit yung misis nila na nanonood ng teleserye. Hindi ko pwedeng ma-miss yung teleserye, gabi-gabi yan eh. Diba? Before, dati isa lang yung teleserye, naging 3, 4, 5. Wala nang for the PBA. Tapos, dahil sa social media, sa internet...
Na-crowd out sila, okay.
Oo eh. Dahil sa internet, naging accessible yung NBA. So NBA na lang panonoorin ng mga ibang di ba? Diyan na lang ako So yun yung isang mga factors din na that help decrease yung popularity ng PBA.
And pero ano effect ng pandemic sa PBA?
Ayun, nagbubble sila, humina, and it came back strong naman. In fairness kay Commissioner Willie Marshall, yung ginawa niya with Bay Area, 'di ba yung finals nila, Game 7 sa Philippine Arena, 55,000 people watch. So it came back with a bang naman. Pero with the same problems pa rin. Hinebra lang yung may fan base. So it's the same problem pa rin, the same challenges they are facing. Pero I'm saying this, itong panalo nila sa Asian Games, they should use this. This is the number one marketing tool for the PBA. We are the home of the gold medalist sa Asian Games. So, gamitin nila ng husto ito. Yeah.
The king is back. Parang ganun.
Yes, yun. So, gamitin nila yung sumikat na yung mga PBA players na kasama sa Gilas. So, gamitin nila lahat yon.
Siguro last part na lang closing on this. Alam ko pagod ka rin, bro. It was a long day for all of us. What are the things that you're worried about? What are the things that gives you hope about the future of Philippine basketball? The future of the returning king? Kumaga.
yung tanong mo yung sinabi mo kanina kung chamba lang ba itong sa Gilas, 'di ba? Sa akin wala naman sa yung mga tao, they were saying, 'di ba? Yung iba, wala naman sa history book nakalagay kung chamba o hindi. So either way, nasa history book, gold medal 2023 Philippines. So it's there, nandiyan na yan. Moving forward, we should build on this. Ang main problem talaga na Asia okay na eh. Kaya pala ng PBA plus a Brownlee plus magaling na coach, kaya na pala eh. Pero we should look towards sa world eh. How do we compete? And sa akin, ito controversial itong sasabihin ko. Some people may not agree with me. Pero mas gusto ko yung Filipinas strategy yung sa female soccer, women's soccer natin, na umasa sa mga PhilAms, umasa sa mga naturalized, build from there. Wala tayong magagawa eh. Talagang lugi tayo sa body shape. Sa Asia, yung body shape natin kaya natin sa Asia. Pero if we want to compete with the rest of the world, that is the direction that we want to take. So ang suggestion ko, Gilas Academy here, permanent, and Gilas Academy sa US. Let's form a Gilas team na doon nakabase sa US. Magaling, mga Filipinos na magaling.
Let's leverage the Pinoy the Pinoy diaspora, no?
Yes. And they would want that, 'di ba? Kasi you get to play in the World Cup, you get to play, 'di ba? So I'm sure a lot of PhilAm players would want that.
Play for
Asian champion, 'di ba? You get so definitely recruitment is a big part of that. Hanapin lahat ng pwedeng hanapin. Let's fix their papers at an early age. Let's start training them at 12, 13 years old. 'Di ba? Yung mga anak ng mga players dito, let's start training them at 9, 10, 11. So definitely a long-term academy for Gilas. Similar na nababasa ko sa Spain, sa ibang bansa, ganun din. So that is one. Yung talagang long-term academy here in the US. Pangalawa, ito din, controversial din sasabihin ko, naturalized pool. Kaysa ngayon, we have three naturalized players. Gusto ko dagdagan. Yung mga nagtitraining, yung mga naglalaro sa UAAP, NCAA na mga imports o mga kinukuha natin, let's give them a path to citizenship. If you serve Gilas for this long, we will make you Filipino. Na, di ba, yung marami dyan, mga from Africa, many of them would want to be Filipinos, would want to live here. Let's give them a path to citizenship. Kung hindi man sila makalaro doon sa actual games ng Gilas, pwede silang practice players ng Gilas. So, natitrain tayo na kalaban yung mga...
the ambient, the environment of high level.
The environment na makakalaban natin. Kasi pag nakita mo nung kalaban natin yung Africa, lalaki. Oo eh. So, yun. So, a pool of naturalized players. And maybe siguro a European coach para to get yung
the
best practices.
Serbian, yung mga ganyan. Magagaling
mga ganon.
Serbian, Slovenian, ganon. Thank you, Coach.
Just to learn.
Thank you, Coach Mark. Believe talaga ako sa inyo. This is something you're very... Kumbaga kung ako, West Philippines UC, I become, worked up. Ako, napansin ko, pag ganitong topic, ikaw yung worked up.
Oh, definitely.
We first discussed this on the way back nung pumunta tayo sa Philippine Navy event, and I was really intrigued because I don't know about it, and thanks to you, bro, I learned something new, and for me, mahalaga yan because basketball is life in the Philippines, and the Philippine basketball is a big part of our society, of our economy, of our politics. Malaki pa.
Our happiness, yun ang sa akin.
Enjoy.
That's very important. Exactly. Diba? Gross domestic happiness, I think. Above all of lahat ng yun. Diba? We could win 200 golds like China. Diba? Parang gano'n.
Tama talaga China eh. You can win 300 pero the most important is basketball talaga kasi it's a national sports eh.
Oo, national sport. Lastly na lang, gusto ko din idagdag. Kasi naiisip ko din naman na maganda din, how do we win more gold medals sa mga ganyang competition? Kasi 4, nakakahiya, di ba? Thailand, 10, 12, gano'n. So, sa akin talaga, if we are going to spend money, I think we should spend it sa boxing at saka sa ibang combat sports. Kasi sa boxing, love na siya ng Pinoy. It's easier, mas madaling and yung body shape natin, we can compete, mga fighters tayo. Tapos we have Manny Pacquiao na who can lead the charge, and after nila doon sa program, they could have careers na where they can make money, maybe sa One FC, sa UFC, or sa boxing talaga. So I think we could put in money, attention sa boxing. Doon pa lang, dapat we should be dominating yung Asian Games pagdating sa boxing. So sa akin yun ang ko. Tapos pag sa Olympics, that's our best chance of winning more medals. Outside doon sa kila Obiena, kila Heidelin, kasi those are generational talents eh. Diba?
Bro, Jiu-Jitsu. Ang galing natin, nakadalawang na tayo, gold tayo, yung mga babae natin sobrang galing jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yun. So that's related to combat sports, di ba? So we can package that into one MMA para pagkatapos nila pwede sila mag-MMA, pwede sila mag-one. Di ba? Team Lakay, di ba? We are doing good sa sa combat sports eh. So we should I think yun ang outside of basketball, we should put our money there, buhusan natin ng private sector, public sector, pagtulungan natin, maybe we could win more goals and we could have a better finish sa Asian Games. Maybe finish a top 10 sa mga susunod na Asian Games.
And hopefully we'll have more EJ Obiena, no? Because he's like emerging GOAT, no? But you're absolutely right. I think we are like the Mexicans of Asia when it comes to boxing, or when it comes to martial arts, sobrang magaling tayo, except we are we're like the Brazilians of BJJ. Our jiu-jitsu is so good, especially yung mga babae natin, nakadalawang gold tayo dito, may world champions na tayo. So actually the future is bright for the Philippines in sports. Yun lang, we have to be, syempre limitado pa rin yung resources natin.
Limitado yung budget.
So we have to be intelligent, we have to focus where we can get the biggest bang for our buck. And finally, after a very long time, medyo may gold na rin tayo sa basketball. Medyo.
Finally.
Natin. Whew. Okay. All right. On that note, gross national happiness note. Salamat, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's have more of this. So again, dun sa mga fans natin ng Project Pilipinas, alam ko na miss nyo kasi may mga ibang versions kami, Real Talk, etc. But this is This is the OG. This is the original. Thank you so much, bro, for sharing your point of view. This was more of an interview because ikaw talaga may alam dito sa issue na time, and I was more than happy to be the student in this conversation. God bless and talk to you.
Congrats, Gilas. Bye.
Congrats, Filipinas. Yes. God bless.